after they were sued by EMI for using 54 licensed tracks. Valued.
Is this website still up? I would love to see some of the shit people uploaded on there. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I wonder if there's any, like, re-uploads on the Konami E3 2010, where are they now? Sounds kind of boring, but alright. This is 40 minutes? I'm going to assume most of them are still working at Konami or like doing some other shit. How is... You know what? I'll give it one chance with the first person.
Konami.
The benefit of hip-hop is that we have President Obama.
E3.
Alright, so I'll take it in the back.
2010.
It was a great conference.
It is incorrect. Sorry.
One of the worst press conferences in history.
As you said, Panda Assassin and
When the
D-Baker.
press walked in, now digging a little deeper and actually watching the whole thing proved that a little wrong, but it sort of adds this kind of surreal layer on top of this already pretty wacky story.
What phone is he recording on to get this FPS?
Show you the results of my research.
Like, any modern phone is fine.
What are these games?
That's how I recorded all of my videos for the first, like,
Before we get started, let me set the stage for what was happening in gaming in 2010.
When I started showing my face.
A new, awkward, barely functional era with Kinect.
Fire! Lava! Tomb? Did I... Fire! No! God! No! Get...
The Kinect was pretty good.
With the fire! The magma!
I never got a chance to try it, though.
God, try this.
As far as for some of you that can't attend the entire performance or the presentation, I just ask for you to exit at the back of the room.
This is David Daniels, Director of Marketing at Konami. He still works there, in the same position. God bless. This is Shinji Hirano. This is Russell Simmons. This is Shinji Hirano. He bounced around president and corporate officer positions at a few different divisions of Konami and now serves as president of Kojima Productions.
Oh, nice.
How about that?
Hey, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch Konami. Woo! This is pretty good. I don't remember the Konami E3 being this bad.
It's Nick Parrott of 4mm Games.
My favorite studio. Wait, did we meet Def Jam?
Def Jam Rap Star was ostensibly a rap karaoke game where players could upload their recordings onto a website to be voted on by other players. That's why when he says,
"1 million views on one of your video performances on defjamrapstar.com makes you a rapper," and there's no joke in that.
He's not kidding.
Did they?
Or at least he believes so. Developer Autumn Games and publisher 4mm really went all out for this project. Partnering with Konami was a smart move at the time, as the Dance Dance overlords already had relationships with the music industry and got them a license with Warner Music. Now, you've probably never heard of 4mm. That's because they would go out of business 2 years later, and not games sold close to 1 million units in the first year, posting pretty good reviews, actually.
What?
Unfortunately, they burned through all of their money hosting the website by the end of the year, and keeping it up was probably the last of their concerns after they were sued by EMI for using 54 licensed tracks, valued...
Is this website still up? I would love to see some of the shit people uploaded on there. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I wonder if there's any, like, re-uploads on YouTube. Oh, here's an IGN video review. Can you stop with the DMCA? Wait, what? I thought this was supposed to be, like, player-uploaded songs, like SoundCloud. Ah. So they just allow you to put yourself and karaoke it.
But wait, you cry. Weren't they partnered with Warner Music? How does EMI come into play at all
Freddy
here?
and the Reset of Leon.
Well, it is true that Rapstar pulled music exclusively from the Warner catalog. Yes, the big hubbub was over samples of EMI's music used in various songs on the Rapstar soundtrack.
Jesus Christ.
This meant that EMI wasn't even claiming the full song. They were claiming 10% of I'm So Hood by DJ Khaled. Players are not penalized for cursing, but it is not a required part of the game. Wait, there's actually more. 2 months later, City National Bank sued Konami for $8.9 million over a $14 million line of credit they'd taken out to fund Def Jam Rapstar. The profits were supposed to go to paying off the loan, but instead, they gave them nothing. Possibly because after the licensing fees, development, marketing, and hosting, they might not have even had any money left and were just trying to break even. In the lawsuit, City National claimed Konami had promised the game to sell 2.5 million units in the first year.
Who would believe that? As a business person.
Nowhere close to that.
That's like when I was on Atriac's show and that guy said he promises 25 million players at launch.
Faded into bankruptcy hell. Nowadays, he works as an advisor
what did he do
and director at a bunch of different companies, including a venture capital firm. I guess being sued for $17 million is a little off-putting.
Man, this man want to be a rap star.
Who want to be a rap star?
This motherfucker here want to be a rap star.
You want to be a Def Jam rap star? He got what it takes to be a heavyweight amongst us? I'm a Def Jam rap star. Look at me, boy.
Hey, speaking of off-putting, here's the real Russell Simmons. Here to just kind of get to the stage. The president of Def Jam Records, he has since stepped down from the position after several allegations of sexual misconduct were levied against him. Also, apparently, when Terry Crews got sexually assaulted, Simmons tried to convince him to cover it up.
Oh god.
He is currently hiding from the world in Bali, seeing more money and attractive women than I ever will. The world is a cool place.
Good plan from that guy though, like, alright. So I groped a few women, alright? I thought I was working at Blizzard. I'm out. I'll go to Bali and just chill.
Interesting. John Williamson was a producer at Zombie Studios, who actually put out a Zork game, as well as all of the Spec Ops titles that most people don't realize the line is a sequel to. They only lasted 4 years after the release of Saw 2, most notably releasing Blacklight Retribution.
That game was kind of fun.
Saw 2 reviewed poorly compared to its predecessor.
Blacklight Retribution was fun.
As for John Williamson, he would go on to teach courses in game design, and currently produces VR and AR projects for branches of the US military and NASA.
Oh wow.
Ultimatius Excellent is an Xbox 360 exclusive title that will bring back Konami shooters in a big way.
Ah, Automatius Excellent, the first localized release of this Gradius spin-off series, and the obligatory weird anime pervert game. Let's start with this guy, Niais Taylor, one of the better speakers of the event, who is relegated to...
Save the universe with 9 lovely characters in Automatius Excellent.
He worked QA for a while at Konami before getting an assistant producer and script editor role on the first Saw game, and afterwards he would only have a special thanks on Hardcore Uprising and The Simpsons.
Nice!
He's currently a CTO at ITEM?
What, Automatius Excellent didn't pop off?
Technology and Entertainment Medium, which is a company whose existence I cannot verify.
There's no justice.
Claims to be an, quote, entertainment technology visionary.
An import shooter has never been this challenging, this attractive. You are guaranteed to have fun as you shoot the core.
As for the game, there's a few interesting points. The cover artist Taylor touts is mangaka Mine Yoshizaki, best known for creating Sergeant Frog and later Komodo Friends. But did it really bring back Konami shooters in a big way?
I'd say it got close.
Dude, it's censored in the trailer. They had the foresight to censor it for the Western
press because
they knew that this was bound to be a niche weeaboo title. I will say,
Jesus Christ,
song, Fly?
Automatius Excellent didn't bring back fucking Konami shooters? Are you kidding me?
Really weird Destructoid review? Automatius Excellent is everything I love in life. Gradius, graphics, and cute little girls. Not since I laid my hands on... Have my palms been so wet and sticky to get a hold of a babe. This leaves my other hands free for extra fun. This little whore ain't the woman she used to be.
What a review.
I spent 5 years in jail for the distribution of...
This is not originally hack and slash anymore.
Hey, 99 Nights.
Extreme.
This guy's cool.
Hack and slash title.
Takayuki or Tak Fuji.
Not funny.
This is it, the man of the hour. One of the best parts of this conference, dropping some of the most classic lines.
And the battle with armies of the more than 1 million troops. 1 million troops. Wow. 1 million troops. X and Y, 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 and X, X, and Y, Y, Y again. You'll be sucked.
Yeah!
He started working at Konami in 1997 as an audio director and was actually an electric guitarist on the Symphony.
I don't remember the Konami conference being this bad. I remember him though.
Apparently, also was a part of the chorus in some tracks from Suikoden, and helped localize the PS3 release of No More Heroes. 99 Nights 2 was his first production credit, taking over for Tetsuya Mizuguchi from the first game.
I don't know, Harry Potter.
The game reviewed poorly, with critics ironically singling out the ability to hit XXX and a YYY and a XX and a YY without being sucked. He continued to produce for Konami until leaving in 2014 for DMM.com, doing something related to VR and esports.
Hey!
In 2018, he would make Gal Metal under DMM, and most recently, produce a little mobile game called Rock Bottom. His Twitter picture is from this conference. How can you not love this guy?
I think he's great. Alright, getting a little avant-garde.
Returns to the stage to showcase Adrenaline Misfits.
Woo! So fucking hardcore!
It's a battle to the bottom.
A title for the then upcoming Kinect, whose greatest praise from critics would be that it functioned. Which seems like a low bar to pass, but if you're a classic rhythm gamer, you might recognize Naoki Maeda's name. He started at Konami in the 90s, producing music for titles like Life Force, and later became closely tied to the Bimani franchise, which encompasses series like Beatmania and Dance Dance Revolution. He had written 160 songs for the series under several aliases.
Holy shit.
As you'll see, they had multiple translators on hand, but I guess if the Japanese presenters could speak any English, they had to. Like, I'm sure if he just spoke Japanese, it would sound fine. Wait, yeah, he just sounds like a normal guy. I do think it's funny that he just gave up.
Always trying to incorporate evolution and revolution in our games. And it is important to provide...
You could have just translated him for the entire time?
No, this guy's, he's a Dance Dance Revolution player.
That?
He just happens to speak Japanese too.
This is Thomas Nagano. He appears to be bilingual, and he says,
"We're gonna try this out, but don't expect us to be great."
Even though it's obviously pre-recorded gameplay, as you can see when he steps away and lets poor Naoki just sweat it out on the dance floor.
I forgot about that.
Not much is known about his work in the games industry, but he appears to have left it behind to start a Japanese taxi service. There is one more thing we know about him.
MC Tommy!
MC Tommy!
It paints a picture like life is a lose-lose. My kids are growing up lost and confused. We gotta give them a world that's worth living through. It's a mystery to me. Why we gotta allow history.
God damn! He's getting stinky. Good work, Tommy.
New rebel. So wait, you're telling me that it's gonna be Dance Dance Evolution?
MC Tommy! Classic THX.
For everyone who just can't get enough of the most celebrated show on television. Join America's favorite underdogs in Karaoke Revolution, Glee.
This is the part where I can't use any audio or I get destroyed by copyright.
True.
Christine Catley was a brand manager at Konami until 2014 when she left for Disney Interactive Studios.
Hey, nice.
Being a high school group, they do still exist and are apparently pretty prolific as far as high school choirs go.
Well, they're not still in high school. This was 10 years ago.
The only interesting thing I can find about the Karaoke Revolution
Surely they've graduated by now.
Is that one of the first reviews you can find of it is from NPR, of all places.
That's right. Beyblade is back and hotter than ever. Following the release of the cartoon series this summer on the Cartoon Network.
It's hard to get excited for a game when even the marketing guy doesn't seem to care.
He's having fun. What the fuck are you talking about? This is Mike Pepe
from Hudson Entertainment.
I thought there's
he
two
started there in
E's.
2008 and would stick with them until they shuttered
Still a
their
cool
doors
name.
in 2012, finding a new job at EA. Ugh. Additional development support credits on
Dead Island.
Metro Last Light and 2033. As for the games, well, it's a licensed Beyblade game with mediocre reviews, Deca Sports 3, another meh title, and Deca Sports Freedom, the Kinect release.
That looks good.
It basically has the same sentiment as 3, but it's on Kinect, so the controls are bad.
My eyebrows are sweating. I f***ing hate when my eyebrows sweat.
Bromlet.
Alright, here comes the big, juicy games.
Get me with the
A
juice.
new Silent Hill project presented by Devin Shatsky and Brian Gomez. Shatsky produced a lot of ports and licensed games for Konami before landing a producer role on Silent Hill.
Wait, I wanted to check. He did Ben 10 Alien Force? Bro, the Shatmaster don't sleep. This is an impressive resume. He did the Area 51 game on the Xbox? That game slapped. That game was good. I used to love that game. I don't know what the Ant Bully is, but I'm sure it's good.
Downpour, as well as writing for the latter. He left the company in 2014 to join Digital Funk Machine as a consultant on VR games? Mobile games? And it's hard to say exactly what they put out before he left in 2016 to join Age of Learning Inc., also known as ABC Mouse, where he remains as of today. Gomez continues to work in the industry to this day, securing directorial roles exclusively on licensed mobile games.
Wow, very impressive stuff there.
How
Never Dead! And Tommy's back. MC Tommy in a trench coat now.
See you all, and present our title for you. I am Shinta Nojiri from Konami Japan, and...
First, we'll save any explanations for later, right, Shinta?
Yes.
Get fucked, idiot! MC Tommy taking charge, baby. He said,
"Oh, hey,
give me the mic."
Another guy Thomas Nagano should have translated for. Shinta Nojiri, more well known by hardcore Metal Gear fans as the director of Metal Gear Acid 1, 2, and Ghost Babel, all spin-offs that offered their own unique takes on the series compared to the
Literally
main
never
line
heard of him.
games. Here he announces Never Dead, his very
Such a
own
goofy
original
game.
IP, after making the decision to leave Kojima's team. Even when he was working on an existing property, which is how he turned Metal Gear into a turn-based trading card game.
Is that what
Never
Acid
Dead,
was?
Then was his big break. He comes off in interviews as very modest about the project.
Advice
but
for a
excited
beginner
to have the
Valorant player?
opportunity.
Stop.
Never Dead
Give
would,
up.
unfortunately, be met with below-average reception.
The game was
Most outlets
fine.
praised the premise and some of the gameplay ideas, but criticized the implementation of those ideas. After this game, Shinta Nojiri would just disappear off the face of the earth. Really, he doesn't have a single credit after this, but supposedly still works at Konami. At the very least, I haven't found anything that proves he left.
Hey Tommy,
Just
are you
recover
okay?
with... Yeah, Shinta, I'm alright, don't worry.
What's wrong with you?
Whoa!
What are you doing?
Oh God! You killed him!
We have a real model for this title. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
Oh God! You almost killed MC Tommy.
And hey Tommy, you have some announcement for this title.
Yeah, got my head back in place.
Tommy.
Dare! Let's go, Tommy. Thanks to resub Furtive Pygmy. And $1 Ryan.
It is incorrect. Sorry.
Speaking of Metal Gear, next up to the stage is Metal Gear Rising, presented by producers Shigenobu Matsuyama and
that got announced at this disaster?
aided by a translator. I say then producers because the game being shown off here never came out. But didn't Metal Gear Rising come out in like 2013? Yeah, but that is a completely different project from this one.
Is it?
See, like with the Acid series, Kojima passed the torch to a different team while he occupied himself with other entries. After 2008,
his soul was attached to that.
Continued to work on the Metal Gear series as an environment artist, all the way up to Survive. Maybe Kojima can poach him for his new studio.
What a classic. Metal Gear Survive, huh?
Hello everyone, it's been a while. My name is Iga.
Koji Igarashi, the shepherd of the Castlevania series ever since 97's Symphony of the Night. Not Harmony of Dissonance, those are two different games. Harmony of Despair stepped away from the Metroid part of the Metroidvania and was more focused around collecting loot with multiple playable characters across
this game any good? I don't know this one.
Intricate levels, and for what I believe is the first time, co-op. Right after him is Dave Cox, a producer at Mercury Steam, who were developing Castlevania Lords of Shadow. This was another new take on the genre, attempting to take elements of the original games and transition them into 3D more faithfully than Castlevania's first outings on the N64 and PlayStation. Both of these games were met with conflicting opinions. Some found a lot to like in Harmony of Despair's co-op and treasure hunting. Others found it shallow and lacking in content compared to previous entries. Lords of Shadow drew a lot of ire from the inspiration it took from its contemporaries in the 3D action space.
Oh, that was fine.
Namely God of War, but some critics enjoyed it for the same reasons. The opinion among fans seems equally hit or miss. Koji Igarashi, for his part, would leave Konami in 2014, citing a desire for more creative control. He then formed his own developer, Artplay, and launched a successful Kickstarter for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, shit!
Game aimed at rekindling the magic of the Metroidvania subgenre he'd helped create. Both games were met with critical acclaim, and he looks to be continuing his career unshackled with a follow-up to Curse of the Moon.
Good for him! Yeah, I know both of those
Dave
games.
Cox
I didn't play either one, though.
A bunch of interesting credits to his
Sorry,
name.
Koji.
A writer and producer of Lords of Shadow as well as its sequel, Mirror of Fate. He has a litany of roles in business and production on other games. He's thanked in the credits of Duke Nukem Forever and apparently designed the packaging for the PAL release of Metal Gear Solid 1. I don't know if that means the cover, because the European cover is the best one. After Lords of Shadow, he doesn't appear to have worked with Konami, instead moving from the Spain-based Mercury Steam to Polish developers CI Games. He continues to work in the industry, with his most recent credit being a producer on 2020's Roki, an adventure game that's been praised to high heaven by everyone who's played it.
Hey! Save it for the ring, It's tomorrow.
This is a great conference.
1:45 p.m.
Oh god, Jesus Christ!
This man, about to take it in the back, is Federico Bayer, a director at Slang. Slang was a developer-publisher aimed at appealing to a Hispanic market. This meant licensed games based on popular Mexican properties like Atrévete a Soñar, El Chavo, and most relevant to us,
one of my favorites.
the AAA wrestling promotion.
Don't know that one.
This is all of the info I could find on them, including Mr. Bayer himself. Slang doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. What's
embarrassing.
Much more interesting are these three burly fellows.
Yeah, how are they doing?
Handling this little caramel twink.
Are they in the WWE now?
Why did I write that?
Oh my god.
Were they even invited here?
Konami
they look
had gone so far
they look
in
like they're not
setting up
scripted.
an
They're going
actual
wild.
wrestling ring and hiring a host of luchadors from their upcoming game, Lucha Libre AAA Heroes del Ring, to perform every day.
El elegido. La Parca. Silver King.
Boo! Ooh, that guy's a menace.
El Elegido started competing in the AAA wrestling promotion in 2006 and continues to this day, though he has yet to win a title.
Oh,
despite
shame.
this, he remains popular, and the AAA website describes him as, quote, the sex symbol of the company.
Hey, good for him, nice. Yeah, fuck Silver King up. Yeah, slap on his tits again.
Is Silver King, another popular and prolific luchador.
Holy shit, he looks like Bane.
The Universal Wrestling Association, Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, AAA, WCW, All Japan and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and several smaller promotions. He's the son of classic luchador Dr. Wagner, and the brother of Dr. Wagner Jr.
Oh my god.
But many viewers probably know him for playing Ramses, the villain of Nacho Libre.
Whoa,
Silver King
what?
was unmasked early in his career, back in 1987, but continued to
Never mind, I
wrestle
like
with
Silver
the
King.
Silver King name, as well as a few other alternate identities. He had a long career after this press conference, including winning a AAA title. Unfortunately, while wrestling in 2019 during a match in England, he collapsed in the ring, later confirmed dead of a heart attack at 51 years old.
Christ.
This is La Parka, but it's not that simple. See, there are actually two La Parkas.
Oh my god!
The original is one of the most prolific luchadores in history, belonging to every major and several minor Mexican promotions, the American Major League Wrestling, multiple Japanese tours, and most relevant, AAA. In 2003, he was forced to give up his name when then AAA owner Antonio Peña claimed ownership of the character in order to push his own version.
They stripped him of the La Parka title?
Known as La Parka II by fans. The original wrestler then rebranded himself L.A. Park, L.A. standing for La Auténtica Park, the authentic park. Okay,
Cool.
so the 183 is the
Good
second
plan.
La Parka. Right? June 6, 2010. Triple Mania 18 is held in Mexico City.
Okay.
The main event? The so-called dream match between La Parka and L.A. Park. The winner takes the name.
Winner gets to
La
go to
Parka.
Konami conference.
Both luchadors enter the ring to Michael Jackson's Thriller. During the match, L.A. Park sprays a fire extinguisher in La Parka's face and throws him out of the ring and into the crowd, where their brawl continues.
Jesus, fuck!
They claw each other's masks, almost tearing them off completely, and both begin bleeding heavily. La Parka throws L.A. Park off the ring and through a table before the referee is blown out of the ring, allowing L.A. Park to use an illegal, forbidden technique.
The tombstone!
The tombstone pile driver.
No!
Joaquin Roldan, AAA promoter, jumps into the ring
He
to
fucking
calm
killed
L.A.
him!
Park. As Park threatens Roldan with the chair, his son, Dorian Roldan,
Jesus Christ!
joins him. L.A. Park
It's like the
pushes
Avengers.
Dorian to the ground and follows through with his threat.
Oh god!
Dorian retaliates
Joaquin!
and takes revenge for his father, hitting L.A. Park with the chair. Seconds later, fellow wrestlers Halloween and Damian's 666 arrive.
Oh my god, everyone's coming!
The weakened L.A. Park on top of La Parka II's collapsed body, where the referee can finally claim a pin.
He didn't earn it! He didn't earn it! A forbidden
After some
jutsu!
back and forth
A
over
riot!
the legitimacy of the win, L.A. Park is declared victor and reclaims the title La Parka.
No!
June 10th, 2010. AAA announces that they will honor the Mexico City Boxing and Wrestling Commission's decision to throw out the win. The results of the match are nullified.
Yeah!
Both wrestlers keep their names. June 16, 2010.
God, this timeline is nuts.
6 days later. Konami E3. My point is, this is the second La Parka.
Oh, okay. That guy sucks.
Most of the rest of his career involves wrestling
he lost.
storylines, but suffice to say that he continued to perform for AAA until October 21st, 2019. After jumping from the ring, he missed his opponent and hit the concrete floor head first. With major surgeries, he would survive.
Oh my god!
Only months later, in January 2020, Laparca would pass from the lasting effects of his injuries.
Christ! Two out of the 3 Konami wrestlers have died!
The first time that I was exposed to this conference was in Krobcat's Director's Cut video, and I assume the same is true for most others. At that time, these were just funny, random people who were in and out of my life, only really there to laugh at for being part of this unbearably awkward show. While writing this script, I rewatched that video as a refresher, and I found that suddenly it was a lot less funny to me. Out of the 17 games presented here, there are 2 half-decent ones, 3 divisive ones, 11 of them are total duds, and 1 doesn't even exist. This conference is beyond underwhelming, and for a lot of people, the first signs of Konami's steady descent into their current hellish state. It's not an exaggeration to say that the people were more interesting than the games. Researching their careers gave me a knowledge and investment in them that's probably more than anyone outside of a hiring manager. Even though knowing their stories has lessened that hilarity that I once found in this presentation, it's a reminder about who's behind all of the special moments we see. The people. Where they came from and where they went is what, for me, solidifies this as the worst and greatest E3 press conference of all time.
You were right, that video was very interesting. I did not expect that. Honestly, very interesting. Damn. I got really invested in the lore there, especially when it came to Laparca. Fuck, what a tragic conclusion there. Fuck, man. Mom goes viral with ugly baby? I don't know about that one, man. It's like something that my fucking parents would show me, okay.
And cats, they're not usually known for their love of swimming, but one feline in Northern Virginia is hitting the water instead of the gym in an effort to lose weight. Holly is a 13-year-old cat who dislikes the outdoors and other physical activities, but with encouragement from her
This is cute.
and weekly visits to the Old Town Pet Resort. Holly has managed to lose 1 pound in 6 weeks.
Alright, well that'll do it. I'm back. I changed my mind.
Sriracha is one of the most popular hot sauces in the world, but it's more than just a sauce.
受到这么多不同的主意的欢迎。
This great big
I'm
story
not a
is
huge
brought to you
sriracha
by
fan.
Delta.
It's a little,
When we
little
venture
too
out
hot
into
for
the
me.
world, we see all that we share.
所以我们没有任何计划，只是买到辣椒，新鲜的辣椒，我们就做成辣椒酱，能够做的都可以卖。
Didn't sriracha only like just recently get popular?
Variations on the sauce are found throughout
I don't remember
Southeast
being
Asia.
popular when I was a kid.
In fact, it's named after a town in Thailand by the same name. The recipe is simple. The bottle lists just 8 ingredients, but David's sauce
It has been popular for a long time?
我们的辣椒酱
Even though he doesn't have any formal training in engineering,
surely there's more
David
to
designed
it.
many of the operations in his factory. He even designed the iconic bottle.
那我用公鸡来做我们的牌子，因为我属鸡，所以我就用公鸡。一般的换品语言，我的产品当初是想给不同种族的人都可以了解我的产品。
People from different cultures don't just understand David's products, they adore them.
当我知道到处都有我的辣椒酱，到处的每个地方都喜欢我的辣椒酱，我感觉很高兴。我的产品受到大家的认同。
Yeah, the profits probably help a little bit though, right?
赚了很多钱的高兴，是我的产品。
Hey, good for him. Yeah, that's wholesome. That's cute. I have to assume there's more to it than just fucking crushed peppers. I've eaten so many fucking fresh peppers. They don't taste shit like sriracha. It just tastes like fucking pain. Is it the Harry Potter cults? Or is it the Snape is my husband? So I understand the gist of it is there's a group of people that believe Severus Snape is their legitimate husband, but on like a different wavelength. Like they're in a different dimension. I'm guessing this is the one we want.
Harry Potter is one of the most popular franchises of all time and has spawned numerous spin-offs, merchandise, and fan fictions. The fandom is absolutely enormous, and with so many people being invested in it, there were bound to be some fans who took their love for the series, and for a certain character, to the extreme. In this video, we'll explore Snapeism, the religion based on the Harry Potter character Severus Snape, as well as the women who called themselves the Snape Wives.
It sounds like a cool
I know
cult.
that most people already know the major plot points of the series, but I'd like to begin by briefly discussing the character of Severus Snape in the context of the fandom. Snape is one of the most contentious characters in the series, and this controversy was at its peak in the early 2000s, when there were gaps in time between the publication of each book, and many fans were awaiting the next. In this period, speculation about all of the characters was rampant. This was especially relevant to Snape after the publication of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah, that was a
many
powerful
were left
one.
wondering what side he was truly on.
Never read it, but I watched
In a
the
live
movie.
journal post from 2004, a user summarizes some of the varying opinions on Snape that fans held at the time. He is a greasy git, the ugly, big-nosed, sallow-skinned, crooked-teethed bane of Hogwarts students for over a decade,
Jesus
playing
Christ.
favorites to Slytherins and despising Gryffindors. He is an anti-hero, misunderstood, disliked, even hated as he walks the path of redemption for mistakes made in a youth now long past.
So when did they
bearing
start,
the mark of shame and still bound to an evil
like,
that
having sex
endangers
with
him
them?
every minute of every day as he desperately tries to help the forces of light which revile
Maybe tier
him.
1 always here?
He is genius, a master of potions the likes of which hasn't been seen in many years, arguing interpretations
treated
of
Harry
each and
really
every
bad.
word he utters in canon, analyzing every glance, every gesture, every
Made him
snark and
stronger.
sneer. As he
Well,
lays
it
dying,
wasn't
he
that
releases his
emotional.
memories to Harry, which show that he had been on the side of good all along. In the midst of these discussions and arguments about Snape's arc, many fans became extremely attached to him, and they showed their dedication through art, fanfictions, and fan sites. This is completely normal for any large fandom. However, some fans latched onto Snape in an extremely obsessive manner, and they took their attachment to the character beyond fanfiction
Yes,
friendshipping world.
this is what I want to see.
Let's dive into the history of the Snapeists, otherwise known
Thank you.
as the Snape Wives.
Love
Snape
it.
Wives believe that they're in a polygamous marriage with Severus Snape on an astral plane, and they channel
Yeah,
him
but
for
that's not
guidance and support in
consensual.
their lives. The religion
Not like
was
Snape
officially
said
given
yes.
the title Snapeism in 2008. Unfortunately, a good amount of content has been purged from the internet, but I've done my best to find archives or screenshots of original posts. So now let's delve
Okay.
deeper into the religious beliefs of Snapeism.
I like the
Snapeism has
graphic
many
there. That
elements
was
that are
cool.
in line with Christian beliefs. Within Snapeism, Snape himself is comparable to the Christian God. He is divine, all-powerful, and omniscient. When describing his abilities, Snapeists explain that his
Yeah, but
wisdom
why
and
would
power has
Snape
opened
wanna,
their
like,
minds,
touch
advised
them?
them, and kept them sane in times of trouble.
Like, why would he reach
They
through
also claim
dimensions
that
for
he
that?
used his power to contact or influence them, such as advising Tanya on how to fold a blanket and Rose seeing a man who looked like Snape while at a train station. His power was supposedly great enough that he was able to give Tanya's father-in-law a heart attack, which pleased her.
Whoa!
Similarly to Christianity, blasphemy against Snape is taken very seriously by Snapeists. When the Tonner brand introduced a new Snape doll, Rose was outraged to see online comments from other fans saying they wanted to check under his clothes to see if he has knickers on, and take pics of his naked rump. In response to this heathenish behavior, she said, "I wouldn't ever dare disrespect Master in such a humiliating manner." Tensions were raised between the Snape wives on occasion, such as when Conchita claimed that sexual
Snapeist.
fanfiction about themselves and Snape should be kept private and that sharing it is disrespectful, but Rose and Tanya believed that writing erotic self-insert fanfiction would bring them closer to him. Rose mentioned that she was raised Christian, but she felt that it was restrictive, as she would have to give up her beliefs in supernatural entities like vampires. Finding Snape is apparently what made her find herself.
You can believe in vampires and
The
still be
comparison
Christian?
between Snapeism and Christianity
I've never heard a
is
pastor
interesting
say
to note,
vampires
given
are
that some Christians believe
not
that Harry
good.
Potter is
By the
satanic
way,
and
Bible never
promotes
says
witchcraft
vampires
and
aren't
devil
real.
worship.
And while I'm on the subject, let me say something about Harry Potter. Warlocks are enemies of God.
True.
And I don't care what kind of hero they are. They're an enemy of God. And had it been in the Old Testament, Harry Potter would have been put to death.
God damn right.
In
Excuse
line
me.
with the conception of Snape as an omniscient
You're
god,
right.
the Snapists believed that the Harry Potter books were written by J.K. Rowling in a similar manner to that of the Christian Bible, rather than using her imagination to create his character. Because she's only human, the common belief between Snape wives was that Rowling made mistakes regarding her portrayal of him in his character arc. As such, she's viewed as a flawed scribe by most of the Snapists. They acknowledged the core plot points of the series, such as Snape being instrumental in Voldemort's downfall, as being true. However, they felt as if much of her commentary throughout the series is biased, and they question how well she actually knew Snape. For example, Rose claimed that Snape enjoyed
that sounds like every fandom ever.
Rowling failed to acknowledge that in the narrative.
No, I understand it better than the writers.
In short, the Snape wives believe that the portrayal of Snape as written by J.K. Rowling is fictional, and that he's separate from their master, who's a real divine entity on another astral plane. Snapeism is also characterized by intense emotional feelings towards Snape. When describing her passion towards him, Conchita wrote that she loves him more than anyone else and would die for him without hesitation, because her life without Snape is cruel and pointless.
I wonder if she still feels that way.
By Tanya, who agreed that life without Snape is nothing. She explained this by saying, "I've never experienced anything this intense before now. There are times when I feel that my soul is being torn asunder with this fierce desire. Obsession is a mild word for what I feel for Severus Snape."
Jesus Christ.
Tanya also mentioned that her lust for Snape left her in tears some nights, saying, "Have you ever wanted something so badly that you ached from within your very soul for it? That it gnaws at your heart and very being? At times it brings tears to my eyes, and I find myself trembling from this need." This emotional connection to Snape became so intense that he became not only their god, but their husband. The marriage was polygamous, as several Snape wives were married to Snape at once. At first, the marriage between the Snape wives and Snape was conceptualized as involving Lily. However, their opinions on her soon changed as they began thinking that Snape did not forgive Lily for choosing James over him, and that Lily would never be good enough for him.
Snape did get cucked.
Snape agreed with this and told them that they are all he needs and not to dwell on the past. The initial relationship involving Lily can be seen in Rose's wedding vows, which say, "Our beloved Severus, we, Lily Evans and Rose, pledge these sacred vows." In Conchita's vows to Snape, she promises that she will not love another man. She refused any potential boyfriends or spouses, saying, "I'm Severus's woman, so I will not be with other men."
I'm sure there were hundreds of men trying to fuck
Why would I ever
Snape's
need another
wife.
man? Monogamy to Snape wasn't necessary, however, as both Rose and Tanya had husbands. They claimed that Snape supported his wives' marriages to another man.
Oh wait, they both has
husbands?
husbands?
Territorial, and as such, limited them to only being physically intimate with one other partner.
God, he's even getting cucked in this dimension.
To the Snape wives, as they claimed that Snape could use their husbands' bodies as a vessel to have sex with them. Describing this, Rose said, "Master would take over for my hubby and have fun. Basically, my hubby would do things in ways that only Master can and could." She also wrote fanfiction about her fantasies where she would spontaneously burst into flames as she danced with Snape. Unfortunately, not all of the Snape wives experienced the same sexual satisfaction.
Yeah, nothing sexually satisfying like bursting into flames.
"I know there are also other wives of Snape. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but that is okay." However, after fighting with other Snape wives, she wrote a long list of things she believed Snape would not do, which includes engage in polygamy, allow his woman to have another man,
That's what
marry
I'm
more
saying.
than one woman. Rose was becoming increasingly interested in the actor Mark Harmon, who played Agent Gibbs in NCIS. She enjoyed photoshopping him and Snape into scenes together.
Oh no!
I believe that this was wrong, as she was not being faithful to Snape. This was the cause of a big fight between the two, which we'll come back to later.
Yeah,
in addition to an emotional connection,
Snape cannot stop getting cucked.
They have a spiritual connection with Snape and can channel
Hey,
him
there
with
is some
varying
doll
degrees
and
of
20
success.
gift subs. Out of the millions of informative videos, you watch this IQ lowering dog water. You're so fucking cringe. Bro, you're spending your time on Twitch. You're also lowering your IQ. Jesus Christ. Just because you visit a couple political subreddits or something doesn't make you some kind of superior intellectual or something. I love learning about this shit. But yeah, man. You're right. I'm sure my intelligence is not even in the same astral plane as yours. I'm sorry to have wasted your time here, Oldsroy. I feel bad now. Your time is so goddamn valuable too. You should really just be doing something more productive, like learning about, like, I don't know, covalent bonds or whatever you're learning about right now in school.
In a self-insert fanfiction, she wrote that Snape said that she was his vessel and that he would communicate with his wives through her. Her ability to channel Snape made her somewhat of a Snapist ringleader, because she was apparently able to communicate his divine will to others, such as stating that he would not tolerate annoying, giggling fangirls. She also claimed to have psychic powers, as she had visions of things that would be in the next book or movie.
Obviously she was a psychic. How the fuck is she gonna have sex with Snape if she's not?
And Snape sitting in his office at Hogwarts. Rose and Tanya criticized Conchita by saying that she was unable to channel Snape because her heart wasn't pure and she wasn't submissive enough to him. Fighting back,
but isn't
Conchita
Rose
said
also
that Tanya
fucking the
and Rose lied
NCIS
about
guy?
channeling Snape and made a post warning about them, saying, "If Severus Snape wants to speak to you, he will do that himself. But most they tell you are lies and
Tom
nonsense.
And Carpaccio and
Do not believe it, and please do not let it affect you. It is damaging."
No, I don't think anyone's gonna get murdered here or anything. I think they're just gonna all have sex with
about a
Snape.
divorce. So now that I've laid out a basic understanding of Snapeism and the beliefs and practices of the Snape wives, I'd like to discuss the public reception.
The Fandom Wank
Snape wives
saga?
are relatively obscure until Fandom Wank discovered their posts.
What's the
Fandom
name
Wank
of
is a
it?
community dedicated to laughing at the drama that internet fans created, which is referred to as wank. In 2006, the user Narcissum posted a detailed chronicling of Conchita's online worship of Snapeism. It begins with her vows to Snape, a letter to him regarding how she felt her devotion was slipping, and a photo of her shrine to him, which was sadly not archived.
Oh,
According
what
to
the
one
fuck?
commenter, it was apparently disappointing because it wasn't as crazy as they'd anticipated. Discussions revolved around topics like Snape's underwear, his pitiful childhood, Alan Rickman's hotness, James Potter's cruelty, Evanescence lyrics, their self-insult
Evanescence lyrics?
and most
Alright.
importantly,
My
Snape's
Immortal?
messages for them in their dreams.
Okay.
This post also includes an excerpt from a discussion between Conchita and Tanya where Tanya unsuccessfully tried to channel Snape for her. It goes on to document a fight between Tanya and Conchita that was sparked by Tanya posting an analysis of Snape's faults on her live journal page.
His
This
faults?
enraged Conchita, who wrote a long post discrediting Tanya's post as rubbish and lies.
Yeah, that's a bunch of
This did not
garbage.
deter Tanya, who responded by making another post about Snape's imperfections and weaknesses. In response, Conchita declared war on her. This fight led to Conchita writing 2 letters to Snape. The first was on September 19th, 2006, and read, "Dearest Severus, this might be my last letter to you. Not because I stopped loving you. I can't do that. Ever. Not because I am too
Conchita,
weak
don't
or
do
because
that.
I found someone. You are still my light. There will never be anyone else but you. And right now I'm stronger than ever, dealing with so much shit my head explodes. This might be the last one.
No!
Because I have to let you go for
No!
job. I just have to move on. I'm
Oh my
sure
God.
you see what I mean. That
Conchita!
is, if you ever notice what I go through lately. I need my strength to fight for my kids. No more asking,
Oh, she had kids
waiting,
this
and
whole
pleading.
time?
No more rituals at all. If you want me, stop me. If you don't, let me go. Or tell me you hate me. That makes it easier. Please understand, I miss you so much that it takes away all my
She
energy.
like mails
and
it to the
fighting
North
spirit.
Pole like a letter for
I only
Santa.
want to be with you while I should be looking after my kids. Set my mind free or be there for me. I dare and beg you. I am sorry, Severus. Apparently you were right all along. I am not the one, and I will never be worthy to be. Just forget about me.
Oh man.
Always yours. That will never change. Never. Damn. Be well, my dearest. Please forgive me my weaknesses. At the mention of her
Fuck,
having
what the
kids while still
fuck?
being deeply obsessed with Snape, many commenters expressed concerns and the desire to report her to Child Protective Services. Conchita followed this with another letter on September 20th.
Snape, I
where she
lost the
confirms
kids.
that she will move on from him for good. In this letter, she writes, "One day later, indeed, that was my last letter.
Hey, Zuri sub.
You already know
Italy,
why I
the
say
2 gift
this.
subs
I
always
wish you
here.
well with
Thank
the
you, man.
woman/women of your choice, Severus. Now I know it was
Thanks
never
to
me.
Bits Gaming Bear
If you ever
and
want to know where I
Man.
am, look for me in the shadows. I apologize for all the grief I have caused. I did not mean to. I was selfish, uncontrolled, and stupid. I will move on with you in my heart. That will never change. No one can make me lose that too, not even you, Severus. Be well and happy. I will always love you." While
wonder
she
if
was
she
done
still feels that
contacting
way.
him through letters, Conchita continued discussion of Snape on the forums. Less than a month later, on October 14th, 2006, she and Tanya reconciled.
Oh, that's nice.
Narcissum continues adding a few more updates, including that Rose showed up to defend her sister wives. The very last update is Snape's proclamation that none of the Snapists are allowed to post on Fandom Wank. There were over 5,000 comments
Oh,
on this
man.
post, with the majority either mocking the Snape wives or expressing concern over their beliefs. But rather than back down to the barrage of commenters, the Snape wives tended to defend themselves against the criticism. In response to Conchita's dismay at the negative attention they received, Tanya commented, "It isn't forbidden to dream and love, and just because those morons don't know how to, doesn't mean we don't.
True.
I shall carry on and to hell with them. I decided I will not make my stuff private, but I won't return to the page on risk of having myself chewed out by him. I will not let them change me. I tell you, it was hard for me not to run straight back over there and fight them, but Severus jumped my case and said the imbeciles weren't worth the effort or time.
It sounds like
and
something
as
Severus
always,
would say.
He is right. They also responded directly to their detractors. For example, in response to a negative comment, Rose replied, "The way I see things is that we tend to limit ourselves, our beliefs, our understanding, our willingness. Due to what? Society? Because people tend to be afraid of what they don't understand? Oh well, your all's loss, my gain.
True.
Does that make me sick?
Nope.
No more so than others. However, I do tend to live a real life with my hubby, my cats, my plants, my friends, my master. I stand where I stand, and ever so proudly."
Amen.
Tanya also apparently made several comments on the original post on Fandom Wank, presumably before Snape forbade his wives from posting. In the first, she said that she stood by everything on her website and encouraged others who did not agree with Snapeism to stay off her page, and finished off the message by assuring them that Snape is in fact real. In the next comment, Tanya claimed that the post had not gotten to her and that the criticism on Fandom Wank was making her laugh. Although they had just made up, the era of peace between the Snape wives did not last for long. A follow-up post by Cato Potato in November of that same year documents yet another fight. This time, the argument is Conchita versus Rose and Tanya.
Man, what the fuck? I thought they were all friends. Why is this happening? How is there still 8 more minutes? What does this end with?
We can still piece together the final straw for the original Snape wives, which is said to be due to a major fight between Tanya and Rose.
Oh my god.
Tanya slammed Rose on LiveJournal. Rose implied that the fight was due to her increasing interest in Agent Gibbs. After all, you can't worship Snape and another god. That's just wrong. Rose justified her feelings by saying that while she did have another interest, he reminded her a lot of Snape. In one post, she explains, "I do love Severus Snape. I love him with all my heart, and I always will. But even I have to say that I found someone who's pretty much like him, and my passion, obsession, need is being met there."
You sly
dog. A wandering eye on Rowling not providing enough Snape merchandise for her. In 2010, Tanya's husband eventually forced her to go to Rose's house and apologize. She also asked Rose to give her her Snape posters back because she thought Rose no longer worshipped him as her master. This was apparently not the case.
Told her to do this?
Later writing, "LOL, LOL, not even when hell freezes over. I love him, always will. Period, end of story. When Snape captured my heart in 2000, that was that." Although she proclaimed her eternal love for Snape, the Snapist-related content began to die down on Rose's blog. At this point, she made a comment to a friend that said she used to be into Harry Potter, implying that she may no longer be a Snapist. And there are no further updates on her or any of the other original Snape wives. We may never know if they're still loyal to Snape or if they found a new husband on an astral plane. With all this being said, I'd love to hear what you guys think regarding the legitimacy of Snapeism as a religious belief, or your thoughts on the Snape wives in general.
I think it's a very legitimate belief, if you ask me. I mean, that's just what I think. That was a pretty interesting fucking story. It kind of reminded me of the Final Fantasy house a little bit, where people astral projected that they were Final Fantasy characters, except this one was a lot more like 50 Shades of Grey fueled.